dear students, and welcome to our class. Today we're going to talk about woodland habitat. Now let's remember together what's the meaning of habitat. A habitat is the part of an environment where a plant or an animal lives. That means they can find or they can meet their needs in this place, in this part of an environment. So we call that part of an environment a habitat. Habitat. Okay? So the part of an environment where a plant or an animal lives is its habitat. Now, let's find out what is a woodland. Woodland habitat. What is a woodland? A woodland, as you can see in the picture, it's a place with many trees and bushes. A place with many trees and bushes. Trees are tall, as you can see. Bushes are small plants. Now, this is a picture of a woodland habitat. I want you to look at the picture and tell me what living and non-living things do you see in the picture. Take a minute, think about it. Non-living things, let's start with non-living things. Soil, air, light or sunlight. We can add rocks. What about living things? We have trees, flowers, birds, deer, butterflies. Oh, this is a rabbit. Butterfly, squirrel. So, in woodland habitat, there are living and non-living things. Non-living things like soil, rocks, air, sunlight. Living things like trees, deer, flowers, birds, squirrel, bushes, ferns. Now in this picture, you can see many bushes, right? In this picture too. Now small plants that live under trees, they can grow with less sunlight. They need less sunlight. Big trees or tall trees, they need more sunlight. That's why they grow big. That's why they grow big. It's a kind of adaptation. It's a kind of adaptation. So, small plants, they need less sunlight to live, and animals, they eat them and uses them as shelters. This is something we're gonna explain later. But the point here is small plants that live under tall trees, they grow with less sunlight. Big trees or tall trees, they need more sunlight. Now, look at this picture. Do you see this deer? It is eating the leaves of this plant, of this tree, right? What about this picture? Do you see the owl? It takes or uses the tree as shelter. Shelter. So woodland animals use these plants for food and shelter. For food and shelter. Now this koala is climbing the tree, right? Using his hands and his legs or its legs. This monkey also climbing the tree. It uses its strong hands. This squirrel also is climbing the tree using its hands and legs. What about these bears? Do you see these bears? Baby bears or young bears. They are climbing the tree using their strong hands and legs. So many woodland animals, they have body parts for climbing the trees, right? To get food, to escape enemies, for shelter, and so on. Other animals, other woodland animals, also have body parts, but for flying, like these birds, they have wings. They have wings. These wings help them fly to the tops of trees. So some animals in woodland, they have body parts for climbing or flying to the tops of trees. Now, let's take a look on animals that live in woodland habitat. Look at this picture. This is an owl. Owl. So we're going to talk about woodland animals. Owl. This is a fox. Fox. A deer. This is a snake. And this is a squirrel. Squirrel. So all these are woodland animals. They are woodland animals. They live in woodland habitat. Now, to the exercise, take the animals that you may find in a woodland habitat. Let's take a look at the animals. Let's start with this owl. Does it live in a woodland habitat? What do you think? Yes, of course. This owl, it lives in a woodland habitat, so it's a woodland animal. What about this dolphin? Dolphin. Does it live in a woodland habitat? No, excellent. It lives in oceans or in seas. It needs large body of moving of salt water. It lives in a large body of salt water, so it lives in oceans or in seas. What about this penguin? Does it live in a woodland habitat? What do you think? Look around it. No, it lives in a polar region. It lives in polar region, cold regions, right? What about this deer? Does it live in a woodland habitat? Yes, excellent. This fox, is it a woodland animal or does it live in a woodland habitat? Yes, of course. Now to this camel, what do you think? Does it live in a woodland habitat? Is it a woodland animal? No, excellent. It lives in the desert. It lives in the desert. It's a dry and hot place. Now, what about this squirrel? What about this squirrel? Does it live in a woodland habitat? Yes, of course, it lives in a woodland habitat. So, woodland animals are owls, deers, foxes, and squirrels. Moving on. Now, look at this deer, fox, monkey, and this squirrel. All these are woodland animals, right? Do you notice something about them? Something similar between them all? Something in common between them all? What do you think? Look at their color. Look at their color. They have brown coloring, right? So the brown coloring of many woodland animals, like these animals you see in front of you, helps them hide. It helps them hide. The brown coloring of many woodland animals helps them hide. It's a kind of adaptation. It's a kind of adaptation. They have brown coloring to help them hide from big animals or predators, right? Now, let's talk about trees are resources. What is the meaning of resource? What's the meaning of resource? Now, a resource is something that plants and animals use to live. They benefit from it. They benefit from it. So plants and animals use trees. That's why trees are resources. Now, how animals use trees? How? Let's find out. Look at this picture here. This is a squirrel and it's eating, right? What about this monkey? It has a banana. It eats a banana, right? What about this giraffe? It's eating too. And this bird is eating too. But what are they eating? They are eating parts of trees. Parts of trees like leaves, like fruits, sometimes even roots. So, some animals, woodland animals, they eat parts of trees like leaves, roots, and fruits. Now, look at these two squirrels. How do they use this tree? How? How do they use it? They use it as shelter or for shelter, right? What about this owl? Or should I say these owls? How many owls do you see? How many? Take a second. 1, 2, 3. This is its eye and this is its beak, right? Can you notice, or do you notice the color of these owls? The, the color of these owls is similar to the color of the tree, right? It helps it hide. It helps it hide. This is a kind of adaptation. Now, to the first question. How squirrels and owls use trees? How? How do they use it? Now, both an owl and a squirrel use trees for shelter. For shelter. It's a place that they can feel safe. Safe. So, owls, squirrels, many other animals, they use trees for shelters. What about this bird? What is it doing? It's building a nest. This is a nest. Now he finished. In this picture, he finished building the nest. This is a nest. This is a nest. See? It put its eggs in it. What about this bird? This is its nest. Nest. So some animals, like birds, they build nests on trees' branches. So how birds use trees as resources? How do birds use trees? They build nests on trees' branches. Do you see this bird? This is a woodpecker. This is a woodpecker. He's literally digging the tree with his beak, with his strong beak. He's looking for something. He's looking for something. See? He's looking for something. Do you know what is he looking for? He looks for insects, for food. So a woodpecker uses its beak to find insects inside a tree. It uses its beak to find insects inside a tree. See? This is an insect. Do you know what this is? This is a caterpillar or a larva. This caterpillar is eating this leaf, right? So how caterpillars use trees as resources? How do they use trees? Look, this is another caterpillar. Caterpillars get food and shelter from a tree leaves. They get food and shelter from a tree leaves. Now to the exercise. How do the following animals use trees? A woodpecker, caterpillar, and owl. Let's start with a woodpecker. What do you think? How a woodpecker uses trees? How? As we mentioned before, it uses its beak to find insects. What about this caterpillar? A caterpillar gets food and shelter from a tree leaves. What about this owl? Look at it. How does this owl use this tree? How? It uses this tree for shelter. That's it for today, third graders. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. I'll see you next time, inshallah.